Hello there, and welcome to yet another one of my Car Mechanic Sim 2021 YouTube series videos. Here we're starting the first of two cars for the Lotus DLC, and before we get started with this car, I thought this was worth mentioning at the beginning instead of the end because remember when I was saying I was starting to wind down on material for this YouTube series, right? And I was considering doing the electric car DLC, which I'm actually considering doing, especially since I already own it. At least I think I do. But yeah, there apparently, and this is something I didn't notice because I hadn't been to their, store page in a while. Apparently, there's already another DLC that has just come out for Car Mechanic 2021, and it's the Dodge, Plymouth, and Chrysler Remastered DLC. And yeah, I don't have it up on screen, but it seems to be quite a few cars there. Quite a few interesting cars, at least interesting to me anyway. So it's like 15 bucks, and like I said, I'm trying to conserve my spending, but at the same time, it can mean a lot more content for you guys to enjoy. And so I may be getting that sometime here in the next few days, and then I'll start hunting down cars for it, and we'll have a bunch of at least 3 different brands worth of cars to go through. So let's get back to it, shall we? So, like I said, first of the 2 Lotus cars, we have the Lotus Espirit S1, and as you can see, it's an okay shape, but not great. I don't know if we'll give it that color or if we'll stay with the factory, but I kind of want to give it a little bit shinier paint job. Maybe. We'll see what the options are. First, let's get the frame taken care of. Yep. We'll clean up the frame. If you hear any pops or bangs in the background, it's neighbors doing their fireworks. They should be hopefully winding down here in the next 15 minutes or so. Okay, frame is already at 100% thanks to the welding tool. So let's start. Ooh, that took the whole front end off. That's nice. All right. This one's going to be a fairly quick disassembly. I hope. Okay. Check it. It's at 8%, so we still... Oh, wait, hang on. Ah. Okay. Okay, down to 5%. That count? Apparently. Wait, hang on. I gotta check this. 5. Apparently, yeah. Okay. And the rear window. There we go. That's probably what we were missing. There we go. Now it's down to 1%. Tricky buggers. Yeah. Pretty engine there. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's see what we can fix up here first. But yeah, dude, seriously, I did not know that new DLC was coming. I don't follow their page. I hadn't read the news on it. I was just kind of grinding through the content, for YouTube. And the only reason why I saw it was, oh, I'm on the wrong bench. The only reason why I saw it was because when I loaded up the game, it's like, hey, new DLC, and it's like, really? Like, I'm not being sarcastic. I was just legit like, oh. Yeah, it's going to give me a whole bunch of new cars to go get. And several more videos to be able to make. I consider that a win. And I think just so we can draw things out even further, we're going to go ahead and probably go ahead and do the electric car DLC. I mean, I think we could suffer through that. It's only, you know, a handful of cars, so. And plus, it'd be for the sake of completeness too. So I'll probably track those, or start tracking those down here in the near future. At least get those. Go ahead and get those bought and get like some more filler cars, because we're gonna have, you know, another DLC to deal with after we get done with the Nissan and the, I think the Mazda cars. I think we had left. So yeah, this is a good thing. So yeah, let's get rid of those ugly freaking plates. Sort by condition. Okay. So we're 100% all the way out to here. The rest of this, I'm not surprised. So we'll go ahead and mark, because this car was pretty much parts complete. We're just going to go ahead and mark these. And then sell the stuff we couldn't fix. Okay, and we'll go buy replacements. We'll try the bodywork station first. Oh, this may or may not work. Okay, looks like most of the stuff we need is here, so should be good to go. All right, almost there. Okay, start putting things back on here. Come on, get in there. Hopefully the noise gate's catching most of the fireworks noises. And the thing is, I started up a little bit early because I was going to wait until 10 p.m. my time to start up the recording. Because I noticed that they were rather quiet with the fireworks and stuff, so I was like, all right, maybe I'll go ahead and start a little bit early. And like, I hadn't even hit record for like 30 seconds when they started back up out there. Okay, this should be pretty close. 91. Anything else? Okay, I think we just got the custom plates, which we'll take care of that right now. Okay. 2. I'm just going to go with my standard plate. Okay. And need to put it back in assembly mode because it bounced me out right there just as I was exiting the menu. And let's take a look. Okay, 100%. A little shinier, maybe? I don't know. Let's go ahead and get... Oh. Come on. For some reason it wasn't highlighting the button. Let's get the tires redone, and then we'll take it over to paint. I'm tempted to leave it that color, but I don't know. We'll see if we can make this unique somehow. just to double check here. We are using 2 different tire sizes, so we gotta be careful with that. We'll get these separated, we'll fix the rims, and then we'll buy new tires and get them put back together and rebalanced. Just like we usually do. Alright. Rims are good to go. We need 2 of the 205s and 2 of the 195s. Keep 1 of each. I'll make sure I can... Yeah. We'll just keep 1 of each for reference. I used to like to verify what I'm getting. Hang on. Do we... Okay, I just want to make sure I got the right numbers there. Thought I got ahead of myself again, but nope, I'm good. Alright, we'll do these first. So just a regular bog standard tire. 205/70. Yep, 205/70. I will hop out, verify. 205/70 R14, 205/70 R14. Okay, so that one's good. And oh, nope, that's not where I wanted to go. There we go. So our other one, 195/70. Need 2. We'll verify this one as well. 195, so 195/70 R14, 195/70 R14. Okay. Good to go. Oh, didn't want to do that. Hit the wrong button. Got distracted. My bad. Try this again. Sitting here looking at something and I right click and then I'm doing the stuff, looking in one place, clicking another, and it's like, oops. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done that before. Oh, and if in the next few videos, if you guys see my camera view change, I'm trying to move some stuff around on my desk with to tinker with. I'm gonna do some tinkering with my streaming and recording setup, so it may end up like camera might be a little further away and might be up above, and I might have to remember to look up instead of over. I'm trying a different setup that, let's see if it works a little bit better for me. Okay, so that in the last episode was okay. So let's get these balanced. Come on. There you go. Come on. How's the mouse? I've used this mouse quite a bit and it's getting kind of worn. Sometimes it doesn't like moving. So we want to get the 205s because those are the different, I was going to say bigger, but they're just different proportion tires. I'm going to put these on the back. We get the other side. I almost went ahead and clicked on that. If you put two different size tires on the same end of the car like that, you'll end up on blocks. So you'll see your mistake. If you don't see it right away, you will see it the first time you set it down on the ground. I'm not sure if the game dings you for it, like actually prompts, you know, says something about it or not. Hang on. Pardon me. I had just enough time to warn you guys and look away and try not to sneeze directly into the microphone and blow everybody's eardrums out. Okay. So, just to make sure everything's kosher, it should have everything on there right, but I always like to double check. Especially when you're using different tire sizes. Because we got kind of complacent with the previous cars were all like the same tire size and you just like didn't matter which place you bolted them to. Alright, looks like we're good. So let's get it over to paint. We may, like I said, we could leave it with the stock paint, but I want to see what I want to see if I can make this thing unique. So this is the factory color essentially. I want to do, I think maybe a dark blue. Like that doesn't look bad on there. That's probably not a factory color. In fact, it's not according to this. But I kind of digging that. Maybe something a little paler. You know, almost a robin's egg blue. Yeah, I'm digging that. Ooh, look at the lit up dash. Nice. I like this. If this wasn't an option with this car, it should have been. But I don't know what the actual real life color options were. But oh, we got liveries. I'm digging the stripe down the middle. What else we got? Oh god, not another theme build. It doesn't look bad. Oh, here we go. A smaller two stripe, both colors, and none. Okay, so I'm going between 1 and 3, basically. I think we might just do 3. Because we don't have to do too many split. I guess I take the back, we just did a car with that. On a car like this, you know, either one of them would look okay. Or we could just leave it off. Because there's always that. You know, I'm kind of digging the solid color. Let's leave it like that. You don't have to have stripes on every car. And like I said, even if this wasn't an available color option, it looks like it could fit. You know, it's not out of place. Still a very distinguished looking car. I'm happy. And that's what counts. Alright. Back to the bin with, or bay with you. Almost to the bin, because this thing was not in the best of shape. So, engine being in the back, I'm willing to bet we have to take the engine cover off. We're going to need to do a little bit of surgery on this, but first we need to get, well, we need to get all the fluids done up. So the only thing that's back here we can go ahead and drain is the power steering fluid. Looks a little low. The rest is all up front. We'll get to here in a sec. Select it, then pick the tool. Good habit to get into when you try to do these restorations, or even when you're doing some of the story missions. If you're having to do anything that involves yanking the engine out or doing part replacement stuff, just pull all the fluids out. You can always put them back in, unless you really work at it to honk your game save. You're not going to do much. You're not going to break the bank by having to put all new fluids back in, and at worst you're wasting like a few minutes of your time. Just take them all out. That way, no matter what you're working on, just in case you have to dig deeper in the car, or if you're, in my case, you're doing a full-on restoration, you don't have to worry about the accidental spills and getting dinged. Granted, the penalty's not that big, but I'd rather not incur it in the first place if I can avoid it. Surprised that didn't come up on the mic there. The cop car with his sirens going just flew by the house. People being idiots already, and it's not even July. What can I say? So, yeah, we need to get drive shafts out as a rear wheel drive car. Come on out. There you go. Game, please. It's like you can get to the gearbox from down here, but thou shalt not get the starter, even though it's right next to it. Why can't I take the... Oh, okay. Alright, we need to get the... Always something. We can't take the... Remember what I said about accidental spills? We just about had one. Because I need to remove the oil filter to get the starter out. You always want to make sure you get all the fluids out first before you start digging into stuff. You never know when you're going to run into bullshit like that. Right. So, get in there. Oh, horizontally mounted distributor. Interesting. I think it's probably the first time I've seen that. I've seen them mostly vertical, either perfectly vertical or off, and maybe off at an angle or something. I've seen two of them on a vehicle. Because they had like a double spark plug setup, I think. I'd never seen one horizontally mounted like that. Neat. Well, I like doing these DLC cars, man. You get to see all kinds of cool stuff you normally wouldn't with the non-DLC vehicles. I love that this thing has pretty much a one-piece exhaust. Oh, scratch that. Two-piece exhaust. I was half expecting it to be one piece. Not related to the anime whatsoever. And who thought it would be a really cool idea to put the starter right next to the oil filter? Weird. Anyway. Okay. So we should be able to get those out, but let's fix that stuff we pulled. We're going to be... Oh, with the exception of the exhaust. Let's go ahead and just change that real quick. Mark it. Get rid of it. Because that thing probably wasn't even fixable anyway. Let's go ahead and buy a new one. That way we'll have it ready to go when we go to put the engine back in. We don't have to go hunting for it. Rest of this we're going to... Obviously the filter's not going to get repaired, but you don't fix oil filters. Right. So we need to get a new filter. Those are easy to get. Okay. So that'll be ready for when we go put everything back in after the engine gets restored. And looks like we're ready for the cherry picker finally. Come on out. Ding. Alright. Alright, let's get you on the stand. Isn't she pretty? Another weirdly shaped, engine block there. Look at that. I'm not knocking it. It's just, like I say, sometimes you see some really interesting designs on these cars. Alright, so what we're basically going to do is the same thing we've always done on these builds. We'll strip it down to the engine block and the crankshaft, and then put all the performance parts we can into it, and we rebuild it. And then we bench test it. Oh, not bench test it. We'll dyno the car once we get it all, finished and spiffied up. Alright, get rid of the wires. As I go ahead and pull the spark plugs. Exhaust manifold looks like it's in a decent shape, but like I said, we're going to replace it. Oh, kinky. Alright, there's no clips on the air filter apparently. Okay then. It just slides right on. Simplifies things somewhat. Oh, would you look at that little... Yeah. See how they... That one's got clips. Oh, this one's gonna be a... This one's gonna be fun because the clip's up against the engine block. That's not a clearance issue at all. Alright, since we're down here, let's go ahead and pull the clutch parts. Look at the ignition coil too, since in the neighborhood. Alright. Oh wait, no tensioner, we just pull the belt straight off. Okay. That works. That one's got a roller acting like a tensioner, sort of. Alright, I was gonna say, what are you hung up on? I realized I wasn't pointing at the right thing. Alright. There goes the water pump. Oh. There's a fuel filter. I'm used to that being floating off into space above the engine. These carbs off. Alright, and to remove the heads. Got too much crap on my desk. I want to get one of those like 72-inch corner desks that I saw on Amazon. Give me much more room and a better way to mount all my hardware for streaming and video recording. Things is like, it's like $400 though. So I gotta figure out some way to get the money to do that, and then I could replace this rickety old wooden desk that I've used since I moved in here. Alright, so that looks like everything here. So we need to get down here. Remove this, I wonder why they angled it like that. That is so interesting. I want to say weird, because it's not bad. It's just like, what was it, the Porsche DLC where we saw the engines kind of had the weird angle to them? That's kind of what I'm getting, kind of the vibe I'm getting. Again, it's not bad. It's just, like I said, it's just different. Yeah, I know I'm kind of doing things haphazard here, so sue me. Actually, no, because I ain't got any money, so you wouldn't get anything anyway. Alright. Oof. And that's it. Alright, let's go fix up the crankshaft and the engine block, and then we'll sell the rest and work our way back up. We'll put those back on the stand. Maybe? Okay. Sorry. Momentary brain fart there. Okie dokie. Let's take care of some business here. Like I said, all the stuff that's 100% we're going to keep. Everything that's not is going to the fuck it bucket. AKA the circular file if you're, you know, in you work in an office. You probably have heard that term on a number of occasions. Okay, ignition coil, flywheel. We need 3 crankshaft bearing caps, 4 pistons with conrod, and I'm going to assume that we need just the standard rings on that. There's only been a handful of times where I've been wrong on that. Oh, we got fuel filter, yep. Right, okay. Go here, pop over to the tune-up shop because a lot of this stuff is performance. Brand new ignition coil. Got ourselves a flywheel. That's a standard part. So we'll go over to this. So we get 4 pistons with connecting rods. Alternator. Brand new distributor. There we go. Aftermarket fuel filter. Let's see. Cam gear's not a... Alright, it's a... thinking camshaft. Water pump's a standard part, so let's head back over. Get these first, so 3 crankshaft bearing caps. Cam gear. And water pump. Also, we're going to need... I'm going to get just the standard ones, and if, like I said, if we mess up, I'll just sell these and go buy the correct ones. But I think we're okay. We only got bit because we were using, I think, the OHV Bs or something last time. And looked like it used just standard rod caps too. So who are we missing? Oh, right. Everything else. Nerf. Okay. Okay. Looks like we were right on the standard rings. So, good guess there. Not that it would have been that big a deal if I was wrong, but... Alright, that's why I like buying the rod caps and the rings at the same time with the pistons, because then you get to this point where you don't have to buy those in the next round, and you just go ahead and put the oil pan right on and go on with your day. Looks like we've got everything. Let's go ahead and mark the rest of what we need. Are we got anything else that we're missing? Sometimes you gotta like treat the engine like one of those little climbing things at the, playground. And I have to click on the part to move around, to click to another part and move around. Quicker than trying to do this number sometimes. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, got our clutch plate. Engine head, 2% increase. Oof. Yeah, that's... I know every little percent counts. But still. Not giving me a whole lot of hope for this being a high horsepower setup, which... it's fine. If this wasn't designed that way, then it wasn't designed that way. Nothing wrong with the car. Just because it's, not a, not every car is going to be 1,000 horsepower beast, We got pretty close with one of the last cars we worked on. Alright, so we good? Almost. Surprised it isn't letting me put the oil filter back on. Anyway. Clutch pressure plate. Intake manifold. Engine head C. And engine head B. Right. We get the rotor thingy. We did not. Okay. We do now. Oh, I almost forgot the exhaust manifold. And spark plugs. Okay. Back to the tune-up shop. Got our clutch pressure plate. Our brand new aftermarket intake manifold. Engine head C, 3% there. And a 3% for the other engine head. That's probably what they did with that, since you notice we had that first part of the engine head that was like a couple percent maybe. So between the three parts, it adds up. So it probably is just like a balancing thing then, I would assume. You don't want to make this thing too overpowered. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't think of that until after looking at that. I was like, oh yeah, that's probably why they did it like that. Because can you imagine like each, like for this 3-part head setup, can you imagine having each part be like 5 to 7% increase? Oof. Probably blow the engine apart if it were real. That or we'd smoke the tires on this thing like an RC car. Which I've actually seen people do those kind of setups. If you ever get bored Go on YouTube and look up smart car with Hayabusa engine. It's basically a high performance small block engine that can fit in a smart car. And let's just say it literally, it's like a man-sized or full-sized RC car, except it's a smart car, but with a stupidly powerful performance engine in it. And they literally smoked the tires like an RC car would. Like when you just mash the throttle on it, and you just get the little smoke trail, the smoke coming off the tires when it takes off. You could do that with that, except it's full. It's a full-size smart car. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. You guys should go check that out if you're into that kind of stuff. Who are we forgetting? Oh yes, spark plugs. You know, I was gonna forget something. It's one of those things where, like, you ever heard the term a car with the basically it's basically an engine with a the car's all engine. You know, it's like the most, it's overpowered for the size of the car. That fits that category. Something that all you have to do is basically just mash the pedal more than lightly, and you could smoke the tires, or at least make them squeak. Okay, so that's all stuff. Yeah, okay. So we're ready for the next round. Okay, gonna go through this a little quick, but just kind of marking all the placeable parts like usual. I don't know if those take clip Bs or clip As. I think they're clip Bs. 50-50 guess, but that's a standard part. Those are most definitely not standard parts. Distributor cap. Okay, engine head covers are standard. Cam gears are standard, so let's flip over. I'm gonna get 2 of these. I'm pretty sure it was clip Bs. I didn't honestly look that closely. Okay, clutch release bearing. Okay, got the first head cover. Second. Oh, come on. And 2 brand new cam gears. Okay, see if our hunch is correct here. Yep. Doing these enough times on the other older cars, it's like you get a pretty good hunch of what parts to expect. You on there too. Guess I could straighten the engine out now. Okay, looks like we got a... Oh, we forgot the clutch release bearing. We got the wiring, but we want to get back down here and place that so we can be done with that part. We got a filter base. And first to the serpentine belts. Sorry, sometimes it gets hot and sweaty and get a little itchy. Alright, I think we're good here. Let's go ahead and... What do we have here? Yeah, the ignition wires are definitely a aftermarket part. Filter base is standard part, and I'm pretty sure the other one is too. Okay, we need a roller. We need 2 air filters. Wires put in. Getting pretty good. Alright, let's go in here. Do a quick check. Yeah, those filters are going to be aftermarket. I'd be very surprised if they weren't. Go here. Get a brand new roller. Filter cover, crankshaft pulley. Do we have anything else on the top or side of the engine that needs attention? It doesn't look like it. Alright. Good shape then. Here's cover, pulley. Nope, 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 nope. Slow down there. I think probably it. She's a relatively straightforward inline 4. Not sure of the displacement, but doesn't look much bigger than most 4-bangers I've had in the past. Alright, I think we're done. Everything looks like should be there. It doesn't look like we were missing any parts. Hang on, does it let me... It does not. Okay. Apparently it's waiting for... I'm guessing it's probably waiting for the starter to go in before it... If they're doing that way, that's actually pretty clever. Anyway, let's get the engine off the stand and get it back in the car. But yeah, like I said, if they have that part dependency up there like that, I get it. Might not seem 100% intuitive to everybody, but I suppose it's like a safety check so you don't accidentally get yourself in a... Like in real life, you would do it in a certain fashion like that in order to not have clearance issues. Because there's probably only so many places they could put both of those parts, you know? Anyway. Okay, so... Get most of this from underneath. Hang on. Yeah, it's going to want me to put on the gearbox first. Get you up in the air. You back on. We're not going to put the drive shafts back on until we get the suspension rebuilt. No sense putting it... of course. No sense putting the drive shafts in when we'd have to take them right back out. We'll hold on to those for a little bit longer. And starter in. Brand new oil filter. So now we can put the oil in, at least. Right. Okay, so we don't have to fuss with anything back here. After doing all this, I'm going to go ahead and pull that and that. We'll do the fuel system exhaust after we get all the rest of this done. And then we'll do the suspension work. I have a specific... Well, not specific. I have a way I typically do things. I tend to change it up once in a while, but I usually have a pretty good set pattern most of the time. Sorry, that wasn't because of that. It was because of, you know, I was like almost walking by here without, you know, charging up the battery. That way we don't have to go buy a new one. Right, this is probably not fixable. Yep, I was right. Let's get that marked. Go buy one real quick. Because basically I'm trying to take care of everything in the back, the engine compartment in the back. And then we go up to the front, we'll do all the stuff for that. You know, just like we would with any other car. Okay. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and start putting fluids in back here. Everything's been replaced and updated. We're going to deliberately overfill this, so don't freak out. It's a bit of a quirk with this game that if you... Like with most of the stuff for the car, you know, when you're filling the fluids. For those of you who hardly ever played Watch. See when that bottle tipped back? That's normally when you stop for most fluids. For the power steering, when I was doing some of the customer missions, the story missions, if you filled them the same way, you filled the power steering the way you filled everything else by stopping after the bottle tips back, it didn't count the power steering as full. So that's why I overfill that. Just in case you're curious. You see how the engine sets? I think that's really neat. It's like the oil pan's flat. It has to be flat with the ground. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it is. But the whole engine's sideways. Oh, almost. It's like almost at like a 45-degree angle. It's interesting. It's actually kind of like the Porsche. I think it was some of the Porsches we dealt with that were like that. Interesting. All right. So double check here. Got the new battery filled. We replaced and filled the power steering. We got the oil in her. Probably go ahead and get that exhaust piece put on. Yeah, hell, why don't we just go ahead and skip a few steps here. Just replace the rest of the exhaust since it's such a short trip here, so to speak. I'll grab this stuff too. I know we haven't done the front yet, but making an executive decision. Right, go over here. Boop, and boop, and boop. Nice thing about these rear engine cars is the exhaust system is incredibly short. Makes for an easy time, you know, getting replacements. So from here, we'll get the fuel tank. That's not a performance part. The other two things should be. Let's take a look. Okay, there's your rear exhaust. And an aftermarket fuel pump, which will give us another 1.5 in terms of performance. So every little bit counts. May not seem like it, but it does. Boop. That on. And so all we have left is the engine cover, which we'll put on here in a second. I want a DeLorean. I wonder if there's like a DLC, not DLC, but a workshop thing where you can actually work on a DeLorean, because that would actually be pretty badass. But anyway, sorry, getting distracted. So, actually, we didn't need to do that. Just bing. Dude. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so the exhaust and the fuel system are done. Everything in the back here is effectively done in terms of everything but the suspension. So let's knock out the stuff up here. That's an interesting placement for the radiator. Where's the fan? I'm just kidding. See, when you have all the fluid, you know, drained, you could just pull everything all at once and you don't have to sit there and do it as you're taking things out. So much easier that way. Alright, we're going to go ahead and mark, get a little better angle. Maybe. The fuses are never fixable because it's literally just a little chunk of metal between two contacts. And they're meant to be, so they're meant to sacrifice themselves in case there's like something horrible going on electrically with whatever it's connected to. And hence, yeah, you're not going to fix those. And no, taking a chunk of wire or a bullet like they did in Mythbusters, that doesn't work either. Well, technically it does, but don't do it. Seriously, don't be dumb. Just because, you know, electrically speaking it works doesn't make it a good idea. just putting that out there. Current plus ammunition, yeah, that never goes well. Yeah, if you've ever seen that episode of Mythbusters, you know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure there's been others that do the, you know, similar kind of shenanigans in a safe environment, of course. They're doing it for science, even though it's reality TV, but yeah, still. All right, so it looks like we have washer reservoir, and we should have the oh wait, brake servo's good. Oh, there's the coolant reservoir. Bit of everything here, so we got that. The rest of those should be good. Got that. You already marked all the relays and fuses, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the stuff we don't want. Just that easy. So I don't think any of this stuff is aftermarket, technically. Do have a couple that are standard parts, so we'll get those first. So washer reservoir and coolant. Everything else is electrical, so we'll move over there. Okay, 4 relay type C's. Done. 3 relay type B's. 1 relay type A. 3 fuse type A's. 2 fuse type B's. 1 lone medium fuse type C. Alright. Just knock out the fuse box real quick. I have to turn it in a certain direction to be able to see the silhouettes a little bit better. Because the way the sun shines through the skylights in this game kind of washes them out if you're at the wrong angle. It just works. Everything just snaps together when you got all the right parts. Nope, washer fluid. Almost forgot the washer fluid reservoir. Alright, speaking of which, let's go ahead and fill that and the rest of them. Do the coolant next. We're back in assembly mode, make sure we're not missing anything else. Looks good. Right, so at this point in the game, we are sitting pretty good at the moment. So all we should have left is just the front and rear suspension to do. And yeah, let's we'll check the part quality. Oh, we forgot to do the interior. Why don't we do that real quick? Well, I knew I was forgetting something earlier, but I didn't mention it before, and I was just like, dude, there's something I'm missing, and that's what it was. I was like, this is going way too fast, and that's why. Easy fix, though. Everybody's probably screaming at the screen. Yeah, that's watching this video is like, you forgot the freaking interior, you idiot. Like, I'm exhausted, not stupid. But yeah. Alright, let's get you put in there. That. I got the one brain cell, man, and it only works so fast. Actually, hang on. Yeah, that's why I'm messing up so bad. I completely spaced the fact I had tea brewing. It was hidden behind other stuff. I'm saved. Of course, by the time the caffeine kicks in, the video will probably be done, but... Well, tier 90%. Did we not clean... Yeah. Didn't clean interior, so sue me. How many cars have I done that to? We're like, what, 45, 46 episodes in? Yeah, forgot to clean the gosh darn interior. Woo, okay. So, now we can proceed. We've already got the tires off the back. Might as well go ahead and pull the ones for the front as well, so that way we can just tear the entire front and rear suspension out. Alright. Oh man, we're gonna have front and back assemblies to deal with. Nice. Alright, let's get this side torn apart. Exactly one bolt was rusted on both sides and it was on the same part on either side. Interesting. Alright, back up. Oh, back up, thank you. That. We'll work our way over. I always thought it was curious in the off-brand name that they used for the brake pads, Patron, because or it's probably Patroni or something like that. But I keep seeing that. I'm like, why did they name this after tequila? At least I think it's tequila. I've heard the name before. I know it's a brand of rather good alcohol, at least so my friends tell me. I don't drink much, in case you can't tell. I don't pretend to be an expert when it comes to that stuff. I have nothing against it, I'm just a social drinker, you know? Occasional beer, with friends, maybe a little bit of Bailey's now and then. Nothing fancy. Now that you know if you know the brand of that particular brand of alcohol, and now you go back and look at this stuff, you're never going to unsee it. You're welcome. Forgot the tie rod. New. Excuse me. Alright, I think that's everything. Front and back. Alright. Let's get those assemblies torn apart. We got... Oh. Accidentally told I was going to be joining stuff, and I was like, yeah, no. It should be everybody. I don't think there's anything else I need to do other than if we can get the rotors cleaned up. Save us a few bucks, even if it does take a little bit of time. Not that we're too concerned with cash, we just crossed the $3 million mark, which is going to put us in a pretty good spot when we get to that new DLC, that Dodge Plymouth Chrysler DLC. That literally just came out today, well, today as of the recording of this video, which is the 29th of June. So, it's brand spanking new. I'm gonna probably buy it after I get done making this video, so that way I can have it and then start hunting for cars so we can get things lined up. Got a lot of background car inventory stuff I gotta do now that we're gonna be extending the YouTube series potentially even further than I was originally intending to. We're gonna get our learn on with the electric cars, I think. As much as I kind of shrug my shoulders at them, both in the game and real life, like it or not, they're potentially going to be the future. At least, maybe. It's going to take a while, I think. It's not going to be an overnight thing, and it sure is not going to be within the next 10 years. You know, I'm looking at you, Europe, or it was Europe. Somewhere I saw that there were some rules that were put in place, like, no, it wasn't Europe, it was California. Maybe both. One of the major, there was a major announcement a while back of, like, some state or country that had, again, my brain's fried here, so bear with me, that they were going to phase out internal combustion engine cars within 10 years or something, and it's puts it around the mid 2030s. And yeah, I think both entities, both the European Union and California and probably some other places too have varying goals for that. Good luck with it, all I'm saying. My only concern though is that, and it's being addressed right now as we speak, you know, like, we take for granted that when we go to buy a new car, that we can go to pretty much any gas station in North America, or at least in the United States, and we know that the gas nozzle is going to fit, or the diesel nozzle if you have a diesel vehicle. They are different sizes, and they're that way for a freaking reason. But one thing that kind of saw, or started noticing with some of the electric car brands, was they'd have their own charging plugs or charging cables, and I was like, you're gonna need to take a page from, and this is, again, I'm not a mechanic, but just looking at this from an outsider, from a tech person point of view, you're gonna need to standardize a few things with these different car manufacturers, because otherwise, can you imagine like the replacements for gas stations, basically the charging stations, having to carry, either them having to carry a bunch of different plug adapters, or have different plugs for different cars, or having the customer carrying around a bunch of dongles or adapters to be able to make sure that they could plug into different charging cables. So yeah, but like I said, there's different manufacturers of electric cars are slowly coming around to the fact that, yeah, since like Tesla was one of the early to market companies to make, you know, electric cars any sort of, any least bit of success or successful, you know, that maybe we should standardize around that. I mean, they didn't have to. They could have started their own standard. But again, these groups need to get together and figure this stuff out, because they make it easy, or easier for the customer to use it. They're more likely to buy it. That goes for anything. It doesn't matter if it's storage equipment. It doesn't matter if it's a car. It doesn't matter if it's a, you know, freaking mechanical pencil. If they're going to make it very obtuse to use it and have a lot of, you know, fire hoops and stuff to, you know, figure out, they're not going to be as likely to adopt that new technology. So make it easy for the customer, have the barrier to entry be low, and that'll won't eliminate all the problems, but it'll help things along quite a bit. And that's coming from someone who's got nearly 20 years in the storage technology business, doing testing and working on customer issues. Well, we've run into stuff like that with the equipment that I've worked on. All right, so looks like we got a lot of stuff that we're going to have to order. Hopefully the noise gate managed to, you know, suppress most of that, but somebody keeps shooting off fireworks after the stop time. So, I mean, nobody ever pays attention to that stuff out here. Alright. So, like I said, if there's any noise on the audio, it's can't be helped. It was either put up with that stuff or not have a recording, which I may end up actually kind of taking a break from doing recordings until probably after July 5th. So Yeah, it'll be Wednesday. So next video might not be till like the day after. So like maybe that following, like basically a week from today. Because the weekend's going to be pretty bonkers in terms of the fireworks noises. And I like to have a nice quiet environment to be able to do these recordings. So there will be a bit of a gap, but I guarantee you we will keep going. We're just going to wait until after everybody has their fun this weekend. Because trying to get recordings done, unless I want to do them at midnight, which it's already 11 o'clock, it's not exactly the kind of thing I had in mind here. So anyway, let's get to it. So, 2 shock absorbers. 20 rubber bushings. Holy cow. That's a lot. Two outer tie rods. 2 front springs. Rear springs. New set of brake pads, which we just got. 2 brand new hubcaps. 4 new bearings. 2 rear shock caps. Front sway bar, got you. 2 front shock caps. Okay, 2 rear shock absorbers. 2 front end links, got you. And 2 inner tie rods. Alright, before we do anything else, I'm actually remembering to do this time. I'm going to join parts. See, the caffeine's already starting to help. Okay, just want to make sure there wasn't anything else. Alright. Let's do this side, or do this end first, rather. I mean, I like the look of this car. Like I said, it's a nice little vintage car. And if you've seen a lot of shows from, oh gosh, what? I don't know how old this car is. 75, so late 70s and into most of the 80s. You've probably seen this car, or at least a car similar to it. It's almost always painted red. I think that might be the only color they have, maybe? I don't know. Would assume they would have other options, but anyway. Was not the Magnum PI car. He drove something different. He did drive a red car, but not that red car, apparently. Because that was my initial assumption. I was like, wait a minute, wasn't that from that one detective show? And like, no, apparently not. Or if it was, he wasn't the one driving it. Let's put it that way. Oh, back up. Click on the wrong part and it just sends you flying there. Yeah, everything looks good here. And everything's over here is good. Alright. Get the front put back together. Start throwing down the preliminaries. Get on there. So yeah, if you guys, like I was just saying there, if you guys don't see an update on the channel, don't worry. We're just taking a bit of a break because of the holiday. I'm not going to be doing much. I'm probably going to shoot some fireworks off on the 4th like everyone else, but we're taking a bit of a break here because, like I said, recording's going to, as we get closer to the 4th of July holiday, there's going to be an increase in the people shooting off loud stuff right next to the house, and but you can always come check me out on my streams on Twitch. Same handle as the channel name. And I stream there 3 times a week. Been doing it for the last few months. I did, for those who never seen me on Twitch, I streamed from 2017 to 2019, and then due to various life events that were going on, I took a 4-year break from streaming entirely and resumed about 2 months ago, roughly. Oh fuck, did I? Hang on. Back up here. Did we? Oh boy, okay, we gotta back up here. We gotta heck up here. You know what I didn't do? I didn't check the tire sizes when I was putting things on. Good thing I discovered that before we got down the road. But anyway, for those who don't know me, like I said, my handle for this channel is the same as the one on Twitch. I mainly stream like American Truck Sim and Euro Truck Sim. And I didn't check which tire this was. God dang it. Dismount. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by the fact that there's idiots shooting stuff off, like, right outside the house. We need 205s. It's 11 o'clock out, and the time frame I'm leaving all this in because I want everyone to see just like how easily I can get distracted with this stuff. So this is the other 205. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I stream mainly American Truck Sim and Euro Truck Sim 2. I do ATS on Mondays, every Monday. I do ETS 2 on Wednesdays, and I tend to keep Fridays somewhat open. I might from time to time switch games, but I've kind of been on a Minecraft kick since I'm on somebody's community server at the moment. In fact, we're going to be most likely streaming from that place tomorrow at about 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time, so GMT -5 for people outside the US. Basically, yeah, it's, for reference, it's around 11:10 p.m. right now, so back up about 5 hours, and so, yeah. 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time from 6 to 10, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And until things change, I'm pretty much going to keep that schedule. At least until I get a new job, and then that'll change things drastically. Okay, inventory's empty. Check our conditions. We are 100% on everything. Good job. Group effort. Right. So let's get this over to alignment. We'll get the headlights and the wheels taken care of. Right. Like I said, I'm not going to stop doing YouTube. I'm just going to be putting, basically just kind of taking the weekend to just chill. You know, I'll take the downtime and work on maybe changing my stream setup a little bit, like I was saying earlier, and working on ideas for stream, and also maybe doing a little bit of job hunting too. Maybe. Alright, so this is all good to go. So let's get it out front so we can get some pictures. Alright. Okay, that front picture is going to be our thumbnail. Back one's going to be just for sharing it on the Discords I hang out in. Right, let's get in. Let's go to the speed truck. See how fast this thing can go. Oh wait, almost forgot. I forgot to take it to the dyno room. See how distracted I am with everything going on? We forgot the trip to the dyno. 179 horsepower. Eesh. 158 pound-feet of torque. Let's see where we end up here. I honestly thought this had a bigger engine, but I guess not. Ooh, 269 horsepower, so a 91 horsepower gain, a 51% increase. And 228 pound-feet of torque, so 71 pound-feet increase for 45% respectively. Again, you know, not bad for 4-cylinder, especially one as old as this. Yeah, let's go put it back outside. We already got the pictures, so just jump right in and off to the speed track. Rather Spartan interior, but hey, that's fine. Hope everyone's strapped in. I don't think we're going to go that fast, but we're going to give it a whirl. Ooh, those dials are hard to read. 100 miles per hour, 110, 120. And 130 and 40 150 154 Actually, that was faster than I thought it was going to go. Can't complain too much. Can't expect miracles from a 4-banger, just saying. Well, sometimes you can. But not in this case. Alright. Let's take a look at the numbers, shall we? So, yeah. Bought this for little over 52,000. You can see the condition bonus and the performance and parts values. And the body value, and see how that factors in. And so we're selling it for 93,120 or a profit of 41,000. So we didn't quite double our money, but almost. So we still made a pretty good profit. Yeah. Not a bad looking little car. It's actually kind of a fun build. Thankfully, the idiots with the fireworks kept their stuff to a minimum, so yeah, we're able to enjoy the build a little bit better, a little bit more, anyway. So, go ahead and sell it. Right. Let's move things around. So this is the Lotus Elise S1. Happy little number, at least looks like it could be. We're going to have our work cut out for us on this one, but I have a feeling we're going to have fun with it. At least I'm going to have fun with it. Again, we're not going to have an episode for about a week because, like I said, I've taken the holiday weekend to just relax and let everybody work their frustrations out on the fireworks stuff because it would make recording a bit impractical. So, and we got our filler car, which is the Hinata Moon Mark 1. This one's a junkyard find, and you can tell. But we'll make it whole again. So this one's going into Bay 2. That's going to be 2 episodes out. I'm actually looking forward to see how this one turns out. And then we've got our first of the Nissan series, so the Nissan 370Z Nismo. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. If it's not, then I apologize. But I'm going to move you position 2 because that's going to be 3. That's going to be, yeah, 3 episodes out. See, I can count. Okay. So we need to get one more car out, and that's going to be another one from the Nissan DLC. The GTR, which I'm sure a lot of people are big fans of that car. I know some people who do racing with the vehicles like this, not in real life, but in, you know, on in a digital sense. I think they'll have fun with this one once they see it. Oh boy, we need to clean this. Let's do that real quick. Ow! I need to get a new chair. Right. Yes, I want to wash the car. Ooh, look at the color. All shiny. Cool. Looks like I got a V6 in there and everything. Sweet. We're gonna make this thing roar. Anyway, that one's gonna be out here. That's 4 episodes out. Actually in better shape than I thought once we got all the dirt off of it. Just in a little few parts here and there, but we can work with that. So what those brakes are clinging onto without the caliper on them, it's beyond me. So, alright. I guess we're at the point where we can go ahead and close up shop. I apologize for the noise and this distracted nature, but, you know, happens sometimes. I want to try to get out regular content for you guys, but also want to be practical about this stuff too, and that's why I put plenty of warning in this video that we're going to have a bit of a break here. It's about a week's break between any new content being, you know, pushed to YouTube because of, you know, holidays and everything. So we'll be picking right back up. You guys will have a, if everything goes right, we'll have a new video out probably Thursday night or Friday morning, depending upon how, you know, smooth things go. And with that, I'm gonna turn y'all loose. Thank you for watching, especially this far. I mean, we've been going so freaking far with this thing, and now that we got this new DLC, we're gonna go even further. Plus, we're doing an electric car DLC, so got that to look forward to as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get any notifications for any videos or hell, even any streams if I end up moving over. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.